A miracle mile. In the 1950s, people compared running 1 mile in 4 minutes to scaling Mount Everest and nicknamed the feat a dream mile. Although, contrasting transition, such an accomplishment was considered humanly impossible, several elite runners aimed to break that supposedly impenetrable barrier. One of them was 25-year-old medical student Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister had tasted failure during the 1952 Olympics. There, he was favored to win the 1,500 meter, but he ended up finishing fourth. His performance was a disappointment for him and his country. Determined to redeem himself, Bannister postponed his plans to retire and focused on the ultimate prize, breaking the 4-minute mile. Okay, so the first two paragraphs are setting up the scene. It's introducing how difficult it is to break a 4-minute mile, and said Roger Bannister is one person who tried it. And he was favored at the Olympics, but he finished fourth, and instead of retiring, decided to tackle the 4-minute mile. Bannister attacked the elusive milestone with a positive attitude and logical planning. The athlete decided to use interval training to develop endurance and speed. Okay. For these, he'd run an interval of 10 consecutive laps in a quarter mile, aiming for 60 seconds each lap. He let his body recover for 2 minutes. By early 54, Bannister had succeeded in lowering his quarter mile to 61 seconds. Close, but not quite, right? He needed 1 more second to reach his target. Frustrated by the plateau, he took a break. His muscles recuperated, helping him feel refreshed. When Bannister returned to the track, he completed 10 quarter-mile intervals at 59 seconds each. He finally felt prepared to attempt to break the world record. As a member of the AAA, Bannister joined the AAA team for a track meet against Oxford University. Chris Cathaway, Chris Brasher were close friends and frequent running partners. They agreed to help Bannister accomplish his goal by being rabbits. Okay, so what do we learn? He's going to tackle the 4-minute mile. He had an intense training. He did interval training where he'd run laps and then breathe and then laps and rest. He improved, but he hit a limit. And the solution to that was taking a break. Let him recuperate, let his muscles heal. He came back. He broke his 60-minute per lap barrier, 59 seconds. So he went on and now decided to race a race with his friends being his rabbits. I assume he's going to be shooting for that 4-minute mile. Let's read paragraph 6. In track and field, rabbits are runners who enter the race solely to pace a teammate for a segment of the course. Typically, a runner settles in behind him. When the starting pistol fired, Brasher pounced into lead, and Bannister followed behind his rabbit, as he's supposed to do. Propelled by the excitement, Bannister lost his instinctive feel for his pace. He shouted faster at Brasher. However, contrasting with this, Brasher remained composed and maintained his current steady grueling pace, completing the first 2 laps in a desirable 1 minute 58 seconds. Then Chataway surged forward, leading Bannister at the same punishing rate for another lap and a half. At the beginning of the back straightaway, Bannister bolted past Chataway. Bannister said, "I felt that the moment of a lifetime had come. There was no pain, only a great unity of movement and aim." Bannister crossed the finish line in 3 minutes 59.4 seconds. The ecstatic crowd erupted the moment the timekeeper announced the word 3. Soon after Bannister's achievement, 4 others matched his performance. A new mindset had taken root. Over the years, the record continued to fall. However, the current record, 3:43, has stood unbroken since 1999. Some question whether this record represents the limits of human ability. But perhaps there is another Bannister, an athlete who, with willpower and dedication, will accomplish the miraculous. After running his trials at 59 seconds a lap, he started the race. He had his rabbits. His rabbits helped him. He actually tried to race ahead of his rabbits mistakenly, but he stuck with them. And then at the end, he felt really strong going into the finish, and he finished under the 4-minute mile. He was the first to break a 4-minute mile. So others did it afterward. There is a really, really aggressive record of 3 minutes 43 seconds, and the ending kind of summarizes that maybe there'll be another Bannister who will break what seems to be an insurmountable record now at 3 minutes 43 seconds. Okay, this is a biography about Roger Bannister written by a third person. I'd say it's fairly positive toward Roger Bannister, not even neutral, although it is descriptive and tells the story basically from beginning where he did not achieve his Olympic goals up to training and achieving his goal of breaking the 4-minute mile. So it actually follows more a sequential or chronological approach. All right, let's take a look at the questions. I think we're ready.